The monster under my bed.
It was a pitch-black night. The city, as usual, had closed its eyes, turning off the lights in its houses. Silence. And under no circumstances should you dare disturb that silence. Even if you cannot sleep, even if curiosity overcomes your fear, do not dare get up to find out what that creaking door or the secret scratching under the bed might be. All these sounds are a sign that he is nearby. But there is no need to worry too much, because he usually comes only on the night from Thursday to Friday. So on all the other nights, one can sleep peacefully. At least that is what Marichka believed. Unfortunately, she was wrong. This time he came on the most unexpected night, from Sunday to Monday. Perhaps the hardest night of the week, because it is the corridor between the end of the weekend and the beginning of school. Marichka's sleeplessness was not accidental. The girl felt that something was about to happen. At first, she heard heavy breathing under the bed, which slowly turned into the creaking of the doors of the old wardrobe. The irritating sound frightened her even more, but at the same time awakened her curiosity. I'll open my eyes for just a moment and see what's happening. Although no, I won't have the courage, the girl thought, and hid her head under the blanket. But after counting to 3, she found the strength and suddenly peeked out to see the one who was scaring her. Unfortunately, the room was empty. Only someone's shadow, like a playful sunbeam, ran from corner to corner, left to right, across the walls, the ceiling, and the floor. But whose shadow was it? What comes into the rooms of little children? What does it want from them? And most importantly, why does it come, yet nothing happens? While Marichka was hiding, he was observing, measuring, calculating, weighing, computing. Every finger, every part of the body, width, length, height, color, smell, from feet to head, and then the other way around. And he grew angry, always angry. Inaccuracies again. Formulas, formulas, formulas. What if like this? Oh no, that's even worse. Physics, chemistry, mathematics. Mathematics? Yes, that's it. What proportions? It is not easy to find exactly what you need, but if you try hard enough, everything will surely work out. Marichka turned out to be exactly what he liked. "Sleep, my little angel, sleep," he whispered softly into the child's ear, and breathing heavily returned to where he had come from, under the bed. He hid there and waited for her to fall asleep, and then the child's body, as if sinking into a swamp, slowly sank into the bed and disappeared. Wrapped in her blanket, Marichka found herself on the shoulders of an unknown old man who carried her through a dark stone labyrinth to his lair. Soon they entered a room that resembled a basement. From there, climbing wooden stairs, they entered the inside of a house. The old man carefully released her and locked her in a steel cage standing in the middle of a large room. Marichka screamed loudly, called for help, begged him to let her go, but it was useless. "Bye-bye," the girl cried. "Please let me go. I will never misbehave again and will always listen to my parents." "Why do you all scream so loudly?" he replied. "Bye-bye, bye-bye. So what if I am bye-bye? I'm not scary at all. On the contrary, I'm actually quite charming." While the girl cried, Bye-bye disappeared somewhere for a few minutes. When he returned, she saw a thin old man, rather short, with a long gray beard, large owl-like eyes, and teeth as sharp as a piranha's. Yet despite his frightening face, His clothes were impeccably clean and elegant. He wore an original black straight-cut jacket with double-breasted buttons, a turned-up collar fastened with a button, and large patch pockets. Under the jacket was a soft black shirt. All this matched perfectly with his classic black trousers and elegant polished shoes. To Marichka, the old man looked more like a businessman or a mafia boss than a monster. He sat down on a small leather sofa and stared at her as if studying her. And again she said, "Bye-bye, dear bye-bye." "French," he interrupted her. "My name is French." The girl did not get confused and continued, "French, dear French, I am my parents' only child. They will worry. They won't sleep at night. They will search for me." At that moment, the creaking sound of a door interrupted her. A stranger named Bayer entered the room. He wore a classic black suit made of soft fabric and a snow-white shirt with a French collar, whose pointed ends were spread wide. He looked almost like a giant, though a little shorter. He was much younger than Babai, but probably older than Marichka's great-grandfather. In his hands he held 2 cups from which the fragrant aroma of wildflowers spread through the room. Sitting next to his companion, the stranger said, "She seems too fragile." "Exactly what we need," exclaimed French. "Perfect parameters, skin, hair, height. Everything is flawless." "If you want to eat me, I'll disappoint you," the girl said through tears. "You won't get very full from my bones." But the creatures ignored her and continued their conversation. "Then perhaps an emerald paper cocktail," Bayer suggested, very refined. "No," French objected. "That won't suit her eye color." "Cocktail for me would be terrible," Marichka interrupted again. "I'm tiny and skinny." Again they ignored her. The monsters were not talking about food at all. They were discussing fashion. Finally, French explained. "In the monster world, fashion is very important. All respectable monsters want to look good. Women need beautiful dresses, and men, elegant suits. So the Queen of Monsters organizes an annual fashion show. This year, we want to impress the Queen herself. You will be the model." The story continued with strange ingredients for magical fabric, a giant collecting moon roses, swamp caterpillars and stars from the watery sky, a spider spinning enchanted thread, endless fittings, and finally a magnificent dress, a silk chameleon gown that changed color from deep black to blood red in the light. But on the day of the grand show, jealous competitors secretly ruined the dress. There was no time left. Then Marichka had an idea. They quickly altered French's own elegant suit to fit her, and she walked onto the runway, a girl in a man's suit. The hall fell silent. Even the Queen of Monsters stood up from her throne. "How bold," the Queen said slowly. "The time has come to change the standards of fashion." She applauded. French had won. Soon after, Marichka returned home. French carried her through the dark stone labyrinth and placed her gently back in her bed. "Sleep, my queen," he whispered, and she slept. In the morning, her mother woke her. "Daughter, time to wake up or you'll be late for school." Some might think it was just a magical dream, but Marichka knows better. Even if no one believes in magic anymore, and especially not in Babai, she knows exactly where to find him and what he does in his free time.